What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We have another drop-in. Durena, the motherfucking podcaster, comedian, content creator, and madman. We haven't crossed paths. You were like, hey, can I do the bench? I looked at you, I was like, thank you.
Yeah, no,
Thanks for reaching out. Fuck.
I saw some of your clips, and I'm like, this is hilarious. I wanted, I was like, I got to do this.
That's what's up. I love it, man. And I watched your clips. We're both biracial.
Yes.
Automatically, I'm in.
Yeah. What's your mix?
I'm black, white, father black, mother white.
Father, yeah. That's
you got this, the tradition.
The
usual.
traditional.
The
yeah.
usual. It's funny because when I ask someone and I'm like, you got the other one?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I got black mom and white dad. I was like, oh, so wait, do you like white titties more or black titties more? Because I think that.
Oh, that affects it. You think
affects
so?
What you hunt?
Yeah, you think you're doing the Freud thing.
We all want our mom.
Yeah, you're like, oh, everyone wants to fuck their mom.
Yeah.
That's your your angle?
Yeah.
My mom's white, my girlfriend's Mexican, so I'm breaking the standard. Yeah, I don't want to fuck my mom. There you go, guys. On record.
Either because she's amazing or terrible.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Mine's terrible.
My mom?
Yeah.
Oh, terrible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you went Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom is white, my girl is Arab.
There you go. Yeah. You gotta get out of the mix.
You gotta be like, I anything but this nigga.
Yeah.
Please, Lord Jesus. How long have you been doing stand-up?
It's been like 12 years now. I think I started in 2012. I was doing stand-up in Mexico. Yeah, I was.
So you're bilingual?
No, my Spanish is horrible. I was living in like a tourist town. I was teaching scuba diving.
Right.
The last year or so, I wanted to try stand-up. I've been like consuming stand-up like crazy, but I thought you had to be famous to do it.
Right.
My brother started doing stand-up. He's like, you just go to open mic. So then I was like, okay, I'll find an open mic in Mexico. It was a small group of dudes who were doing stand-up out there. Started doing stand-up with them. After about a year and a bit, I was like, I really want to do it. Mm-hmm. Sold all my scuba gear, everything I owned, moved to Toronto to do it. And then I was in Toronto for about 8 or 9 years doing stand-up there. Worked up through the Toronto comedy scene, and now I've been in New York for about 2 years.
You've been here for 2 years. Okay, that would explain, because I'm like, when you reached out to me, I was like, how do I not know this person?
Yeah.
And I stopped in 2019 to do acting shit. And then like I kind of dabble. And then when you wrote to me, I was like, how? How did I, like, because I know like Eagle, Eagle Wit?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right? And I was like, oh, I was a Che. He was like, oh yeah, fucking Che's great.
Yeah.
I was like, how do I not know this motherfucker?
Yeah.
So you go there, you come to New York.
Yeah.
Crazy following. You're always working.
Yeah.
Like, and it seems like you have a little bit of a speciality if looking at your IG where it's like, this nigga fucks.
I do all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very open about everything kind of sexual because I've always thought it like, I find anything absurd funny.
Right.
And so the absurdity of how sex is used in culture versus how we're supposed to feel about it, I don't think it was like a conscious thing like, ooh, there's comedy here. I think I just naturally found it. Also, sex, dating, relationships, those like the foundations of comedy. You have like race, you got dating, you got like, I don't know, shit. Those are like those are the bases that every comedian touches.
There was a clip of you about getting a vasectomy.
Yes, yeah.
And I was like, this guy is doing exactly what I would want to be if I lived in this time.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like you're maximizing.
Well, I was like, I started to get so irresponsible with my jizz.
Right.
That I'm like, and this is a great time to be responsible with jizz too, because a lot of chicks are on birth control. Right. But I also, like, my demo, like, that I would fuck a lot was like kind of like those stinky granola white chicks. I was doing a lot of those.
OnlyFans, like low level, low tier
OnlyFans?
OnlyFans?
Some like mid tier. Don't get.
I'm not dissing you. I'm dissing them. Because listen, when you gotta eat, you'll eat at any restaurant.
You gotta eat, dude.
That's okay.
I was just smashing all over the place. So I was like, this is kind of. I was looking at my career and I'm like, everything's going good.
Right.
I'm like, I never thought about what level of success I would reach, but I'm very grateful for being where I'm at.
Right.
I'm like, something that would really fuck this up would be a kid with a stranger.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I've ever told this story. I won't say who this is, but that when we first started touring, no one would book us because we didn't have credits, we didn't have anything.
Right.
So we literally would cold call venues and book our own tours, and we would do it where the venue has to sell the tickets and you pay us a flat rate, so you don't have to worry about ticket sales.
Okay, bet.
And
okay.
so we booked a bunch of shit like that.
Yeah.
And we were calling like Bumfuck Nowhere Canada to
Yeah.
book this tour. And we call this one place and they're like, oh, you're comics? Do you know so-and-so comic, this big Canadian comic? And we're like, yeah. And they're like, oh, our manager out here is having his baby. And we're like, what?
Wow.
What, dude?
That's comedy.
And so thinking, I was like, man, if that happened to me, it would really ruin my life. So I was like, get snipped. If you want to reverse it later and have kids, I can.
Right.
I know it's not 100% reversible. People always like to fucking be like, you know it's that. I'm like, I don't care. I'm willing to take the risk.
It's worth the roll them dice.
It's worth
Yes,
the roll the
you're
dice.
good.
Yeah.
That's funny. I can't have kids either. I could all the way. I got cancer.
Oh, yeah.
I had no more prostate.
Yeah.
So I'm like you.
Yeah.
But mine's not reversible.
Not reversible,
and
no.
it's dry fire. Nothing.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because the prostate's where the semen comes from.
Yeah,
Could they like go in your balls and take out a sperm?
No, I did. I put a load in the freezer.
Okay, so you have
I
it. Yeah.
I have it. You're 32?
Yeah.
Dude, you started at 20?
Yeah.
Dude, you're golden, man.
Golden,
That's
dude.
Great. That's
it's
a
just
great
like,
shit.
Keep moving forward. Work
Yeah.
on some other projects. Just keep enjoying myself.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I'm always like this. I wish I started young.
Yeah.
You know, like Michael Jackson started young. He's the
Yeah.
best. Like Dave Chappelle started
Yeah.
the best, you know? I'm like, anyone who starts like anything they're doing, like art-wise young, they're the best of it, or anything really, like girls who got molested.
Yeah. Wait, what?
You know
What's
what
the
I-
explanation?
They started young.
So they're the best fuckers.
They're the best fucks.
Oh, yeah, that trauma
There you go.
comes out like crazy, dude.
It's not just thousands of hours.
Yeah.
You get a girl who's really had a rough childhood. You know,
It is
they
true.
win. They win.
You get the emotionally stable chicks that's like,
Yeah.
they're not really throwing the puss around like crazy. Well, because I think part of what comes with like throwing a lot of dick around and throwing a lot of puss around
Yeah.
is trying to mitigate that trauma in some way.
Right.
Like people turn to different things. You go to drugs, you go to food, some people go to sex, and they go, this softens my pain a bit.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's tough, and it's like, and I was one of those people. I cycled from. It's like, well, I'm gonna do food. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do steroids. I'm gonna do pussy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do coke. And you're
Yeah.
like, and then you're like, all right, I'm gonna do kale. And then you get old, and you're like,
I gotta clean it up.
Yeah.
I gotta clean it
Yeah.
up. Finding a good vice is really nice. That wasn't
Yeah.
supposed to rhyme, but
It
dude, fucking if you're in Narcotics Anonymous, take that. That's yours now.
who's your favorite stand-up?
Oh man. I mean, the best guy running right now is Shane.
Okay.
Shane is unbelievably talented.
Yeah.
He also, I think he speaks to something that was like very much a gap in
Right.
comedy for a long
Yeah.
time. Just bro content kind of
Yes.
went away.
Right.
Like the 80s, you have like everything's bro, all these action
Yep.
movies and shit. And that it was kind of gone for a bit. So it very much resonates with like, I'm hanging out with my boys, the kind of jokes we would fuck around
So
with.
much.
But like my classic, like Chris Rock was who got me like into comedy. Like I watched his stand-up specials.
the best.
I don't know
Yeah.
how many fucking times.
Yeah.
Burr is the guy who I look at and I'm like, oh, his career trajectory is so incredible.
Right.
Like he's unbelievably funny.
Yeah.
And like you watch his like first 3 specials and they're very good.
Amazing.
And then you watch fucking, what's it called? I'm Sorry You Feel That Way, the black and white one.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And it's like an evolution in his comedy and his act outs.
Yeah.
And then Paper Tiger, like this is maybe even better than the last one.
It is better. It
And
is better.
it-
It was the one before was a little, and then he came back.
Back,
It's
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
And that's okay.
Oh, I
That's
forgot
a
about
lot.
the Nashville one. Yeah,
Right.
the Nashville one's
There's a little bit of a dip,
but
it's
that's
okay.
when he had the kid. He
Right.
had the fucking
Yeah.
the TV show. A lot of
Yes.
shit was going on in his
Yeah.
life.
Yep.
But I would say, yeah, like past, like sort of present, future. It's like I would go Chris Rock, Bill Burr, Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
No, that's a great trilogy. Man.
Yeah.
That's a great that's all solid. They're
yeah.
just the best.
They're unbelievable.
Shane Gillis is great just because he seems like he's having a good time.
Yeah.
You know?
He makes you feel like you're hanging out. Like
Yeah.
we're all just hanging out. We're all fucking
But
around.
so do you.
I want it to feel like we're buddies.
Right.
I want it to feel like we're buddies. I want it to feel like we're all having a good time. I want to take things that, like I said, I find absurd, maybe things that people can very much relate to,
Right.
and make them as layman as possible so we
Right.
can all have a good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, man, you bridge the gap, and somehow you're really good. You know, like Ricky Gervais, like he says these crazy things. How does he get away with it? People are like, I don't know. You have that.
I'm very adorable. There's like,
Bro, I'm gonna tell you, you and me will tell the same joke, and they'll be like, "Oh, he's so sweet," and me, they'll be like, "That nigga will rape me."
Yeah,
you know what I'm
dude.
saying? I like you have different. It's a different thing. I know you just get older, you're not cute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You're still
yeah.
young, and like you have that, which is nice.
From the beginning of me doing stand-up,
Right.
people have always I would give someone a tag or something. They'd be like, "I can't say that." I'd be like, "You can say that." They'd be like, "No, you can get away with shit I can't get away with," and I don't know how.
Yeah.
I've got this some sort of charisma going on up there,
Dude.
Yeah.
It's man, but it's young, and there's innocence.
Yeah.
When certain people say, you're like, that shit ain't innocent. Like you.
And I also think the things like, because I'm so comfortable with a lot of sex and
Right.
sexuality stuff,
Right.
if people really perceive it as being very vulnerable, and I think in a sense it is, but
For sure.
because I don't find that stuff scary to reveal,
Right.
for me it's not that vulnerable.
Right.
It's just, I'm like, we should be talking about this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you're at ease, you put other people at ease.
Yeah.
Mostly. I will say this. We started Two Comics on a Bench 2020.
Yeah.
It wasn't okay.
Yeah.
And that's only 4 years ago.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and it was like we had to put a trigger warning on it, and things
Yeah.
have changed. You've been in New York for 2 years. How do you feel about like cancel culture? Is it loosening? Is it the same?
Oh,
Like-
it's loosening huge. The pendulum's kind of swung back, and I think it's the public's perception has changed. Like, it was always a vocal minority that was
Right.
getting very upset,
Yeah.
and there was the fear of being outcasted. And
Right.
we've kind of hit the point where it's like, okay, this outrage isn't really solving any of the problems that we want solved. And people are going back to like, I just kind of want to have a good time. It's not that these things that people are getting upset by some of them are overreactions, but
Sure.
some of them it's like, is making this Twitter post going to solve this
Dude,
thing? It's like,
yeah.
and we're everyday people. People are going to work, they're coming home, they're taking care of their kids. They want their life to be manageable. They want to be able to afford groceries and rent or their mortgage, and they don't really give a shit about much else because they can't. They don't have the capacity
You have
to.
the capacity, and I mean, listen. At the end of the day, it's like you can tune the fuck out.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think maybe even in 2020, people felt like they had to because they
Yeah.
were fucking like at the,
Like,
at
had the
phone.
gun
And it's
to-
like I have nothing else.
Yeah,
you know, that
exactly.
shit. Biracial. Go
Yes.
back to it. Mine shit's crazy. My parents were criminals. you
Oh,
know?
really?
Yeah, they both went to prison. I got adopted when I was 8. My shit's all crazy.
Damn.
Your biracialness.
Yeah.
Do you come from a normal black person and white person, or is it like some other wild story? Like I hear a lot of stories for biracial kids.
I mean, not normal isn't how I would describe it.
Right.
It was very, they should have got divorced probably
Sorry.
like 10, no, it's like, they got divorced
Yeah.
when I was 22, I think. They should have got divorced when I was like 5.
Right.
Like the whole time, it was good for the first few years, but once we moved into like their starter home,
Right.
it was just like tension in the house constantly, and they clearly didn't like each other at all and stayed together for me, but then I got the brunt of their anger.
Right, of course.
And they were better than their parents. Everyone's a little better than their parents, but they were
Right.
both very emotionally unstable.
Yep.
I was much closer, and have always been much closer with my dad. He was much more of a grounded person.
Right.
My mom's more of a chaotic energy,
Right.
and the hatred comes out of her like fucking super quick, and
Yeah.
she's very good at cutting you down. Holy shit, she can, it took me time to work through my shit
Right.
to be like, hey, let your guard down, because I would watch like sitcoms and shit, and you
Yeah.
see a sitcom family, and they all like trust each other, and I was like, you guys trust each other?
the
in this
fuck is
house?
that?
That's crazy, dude.
Fucking fantasy.
If you reveled anything
Yeah.
to anyone in the house, it
Yeah.
was going to be used against you
Oh,
some
yeah,
way at some
weaponized.
time.
Yeah, of course.
So normal, I wouldn't say normal. No,
Yeah.
no. But it was like, I don't know, they didn't beat the shit out of me. I
Right.
grew up in the suburbs. We were like probably lower middle class until I was in my mid-teens. Then we were like middle class.
There you go.
Went to Costco.
Okay.
It wasn't like, when I look at what
Yeah.
other people's situations are,
Yeah.
it wasn't that fucking bad.
Right.
I got over it.
Right.
Yeah.
No, because that's the thing. It's so interesting where biracial people come from.
Yeah.
Because the stories are like, it's a lawyer and an actor, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, they were so wealthy, they were above it all.
Yeah.
And then they're like, it was like we were trailer park people, and they're so they were below
Yeah.
it all, And then
Yeah.
there's the normal like, oh yeah, doctor, and you're like, oh wow, normal biracial. A lot
Yeah,
of us
they
are
just-
fucked up. We're kind of fucked. I think. I mean,
They-
which is good.
Yeah.
It makes us more interesting. But there's a lot of suffering inside,
They just worked. They worked too much. They lived above their means a little bit,
Right.
and it put stress on both of them. And they were kind of conflicted about sticking to these traditional values and not. And they also came in at a time before you like worked on these things. Like, I have these issues, how do I work on them? They just shot them out. And then as a kid, I was like, well, if I hide, I'm fine. Just go to your room, play video games, don't interact with the house. Yeah.
As a biracial person, there was points I lived in places where it was all white. I lived in places where it was all black, and they were all mixed. When I was in the all white place, I wished I was black. Yeah. When I was in all the black place, I wished I was white. Yeah. Because I was like, I can't stand these motherfuckers. And then when you mix, you're like, oh, this is actually good. Yeah. Did you have anything like that?
So Canada's very mixed. Like my friends in elementary school, it was like me, a Korean kid, two kids from Iran. No, one kid from Iran, one kid from Afghanistan. Okay. And two white kids. Right. That was my friend group growing up. So it was always very mixed, but there was not a lot of black people at all. Not a lot. In my high school graduation class, I think there was something like, how many kids graduated? It was like 500 kids, and I think 8 of them were black. Like,
no, that's yeah.
But I've always been like, it's never been enough for either side. Like, my dad is from Haiti. Right. And he exposed me to Haitian culture a bit, but not a ton. Right. So my upbringing was very much like modern Western pop culture. Right. So
let you be Canadian. You're Canadian.
I'm Canadian. Yeah, very Canadian. So it would be like white exposure to some of the white culture, but not like a hockey kid, not a hockey bro, or like a frat guy. Right. But then a little bit on the black side, like where I don't know, getting like 50 Cent albums and stuff, and a little bit exposed to rap culture. But my most core identity is like nerd culture, like watching a bunch of anime, playing a ton of video games, where I would hide that shit from everyone. Right. Nobody knew how big of a nerd I was. Right. There was like moments where it would get revealed. One time we didn't have GameStop in Canada, we had EB Games, which eventually turned into GameStop. Right, but I'm at GameStop when my boys were at the mall, and they're like, oh, what's this game? And I'd be like, oh, that game is made by this developer, and it's this kind of game, and da-da-da. And they would pull different games off the shelf, and I knew all of them back in a time when you could. Yeah. So if anything, the culture that really raised me was just like dorky shit. Yeah.
And I feel like, I also think that's a common thread through biracial, like biracial kids are like, you know, we're kind of in the middle, but a lot of us, we're fucking nerds. Yeah. We'll be nerds, we'll be whores, we'll be drug addicts, but we're nerds. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. And I want to talk about more biracial shit, but we got to talk about some jokes. Have you ever bagged a pronoun person?
Like a they, them?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I don't think so. No, I don't think I have.
Right.
No.
I was like, I want to say that. I want to say that I have, because I want to say they suck my dick and sound like it was more than one person. But it was one person.
Yes.
You know. How do you feel about squirters?
I love it. Love squirts so much.
Okay. What level?
Give me the full gush, dude.
Wow, you're like fire hydrant.
Yeah, like 100%, dude.
See, I had a girl where that like the humidity of the room changed, and I was like, I did a little like too much. It hit my ankle.
Oh, dude, that's great.
Yeah, no, I was like precipitation.
Dude, there's this one girl I was hooking up with. I was like giving her the Spider-Man, and then I was like, think of my forearms kind of like against her stomach like this, and I'm in there, and she's squirting so much it's like puddling up into here, like there's like a little reservoir, yes. And I like slurped it up and then spit it into her mouth.
See, I miss being young. You make me feel, I
loved it. Yeah, I loved it. And it did smell a bit like pee, just a bit. There was like, there's a hint.
You know, but there's smoke, there's fire. I don't know if that applies.
I think it does.
I think it does, right? A little bit. You ever ask like a girl that you're fucking with, like it's like you're dating and you're like what's up with this guy? Mm-hmm. You know, you tell there's a thing. And they're like, no.
Oh, like the boy best friend kind of thing?
Yeah, like, did anything happen? They're like, no. And they're like, I fucked him 5 years ago.
Okay, yeah, see, I have been non-monogamous. Mm-hmm. Like, and when I say non-monogamous, I don't even mean like I was dating people and we weren't monogamous.
Right.
In high school, I dated a girl for about 1.5 years. Right. And then since then, I've dated 3 girls for about 4 months apiece. Right. And so from like 15 to 32, a collective year and like 12 a year of dating. So it's never even really got to there where I'm like, who the fuck is it? Like, I'm out before we even get there.
Bless you. You're doing a good, you're making the right choices.
But you need to accept what your boundaries are. Some people are very comfortable with that. They go, oh, you know what, you're moved past it.
Yeah.
But there was an ex
Yeah.
who we fucked on and off a bunch after we broke up, and then even after we stopped fucking, we were friends and we would hang out, we would get lunch, and then she started working. I got her job working at the same place as me, and it was like we were legit friends. And then she started dating a guy in the office, which wasn't like, what the fuck? No, it was this was years past.
Right.
But then she stopped contacting me and stopped hanging out with me, and I was like, of course, if I was him, and you're like, oh yeah, this friend of yours that you go out and hang out with and you guys like have talks and you have emotional connection and you fucked for years, that's fine. No, come on.
No, I would say this, like, it's so tough because I had that in a recent relationship where it was like, I have women that I dated for like a week or two and they would be like, we're friends. Yeah. And they like become my roommates. They were like, they're home. I go to their fucking weddings and shit like that. And some girls get mad, and some I'm like, come on. I'm like, that's like my sister now, which is weird. Yeah. You know, because you did have some, but it really does change. When you're 50, you're like, yo, that was 20 years ago, and it changes. I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like I have always been pretty. I don't want to say I'm open about it, but I've been really honest about it. And I think what my thing was like, I had a girl where it was just like she wanted to know everything I did, and I tell her. And then she lied, you know, and you're just like, I was like, yo, what's up with this dude?
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then she lied, but I'm like, this nigga, I was getting interrogated. I had the light on me and shit, and you're like, come on, man, just be fair. Like, if it's open, let's be open
about the whole thing. Yeah.
You know? So I feel there's like, is it inconsistent? Like, you're dating probably younger girls, right? I mean, my girl is 30. It's a lot to handle. 30 is a lot. Yeah. Like, I mean, but that's my only 30. Before that was around my age. So I don't know. I feel like women in your demo, like that, like in that age group, were kind of fucking a lot. I feel like they're a lot, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's a lot.
But you have to. I think there's this perception that it's like a whole different world. Right. But I think there's a section of people that, it's the same, the vocal minority. There's a section of people that are way more out there, way more fucking, way more everything. Right. A lot of people kind of just keep going down the same track. Everything gets a little bit more accepting by generation, but not insane, dude. Like, things haven't changed that much. Finding a chick who I don't know, she's not really out there, she wants to settle down and have kids and do that stuff, they're everywhere.
Right. Yeah. I do feel like it's a little more loose. Like, I think when I was in my 20s, it was like you had a threesome, like you were part of a special club. You're like, everyone kind of has those now,
threesomes kind of,
Yeah, like that's the barrier of entry to that is way lower.
Yeah, we've removed a lot of sexual stigmas. Right. So in the time when you are like hoeing out, you're gonna try more things and do more things. More people are eating ass, dude. It's just like,
bro, I felt I was a pioneer. I was doing that in the 90s. People were like, what?
Yeah, dude, I'm eating strangers' asses,
you know? Man. Yeah, like now it's like,
it's whatever.
And the thing is, I can't commit to more. That was it for me. Yeah. It was like I was ahead, and now I'm just.
Now they caught up to you.
I've been surpassed. I'm trying to poop and blood play and all this shit.
But that's how it should be. You shouldn't, like, once you get to 50, you shouldn't be leading the charge of sexual adventurism. Yeah.
No, missionary, dog. I'm going to rest.
Good. You're good.
Rest.
Yeah.
You know. You know, I shoot nothing. I shoot dust.
Yeah.
The ghost.
The ghost comes out.
Hold on. All right, hold on. We're gonna try a new thing where our guests come in and do a joke that they wouldn't do on stage. Because this, like, our audience, like when you come to the live show, you'll see our audience is gangster. You cannot faze them. Yeah. And I feel like you go into a regular club, there's some jokes like, brah, you can't do that here. Yeah. You know? And you could do that here. So if you have a joke, I would love to hear it.
So I did this joke years ago. This is probably like, let's say 5-6 years into comedy. And it worked sometimes, but it was pushing the boundary. And you got to follow me on this. There's like 2 stages to this. So the joke would start where I was like, I've solved police brutality against black men. We're going to stop black men from getting shot by the police, unarmed black men. If you're black and a cop tries to shoot you, go, I'm not black, I'm a Chinese guy.
Oh my God, that's so... Don't do that one. Oh God.
And then of course the crowd would be like, maybe a laugh, but really like a, oh. And I'd be like, yeah, I know that's fucked up, but the world's fucked up, dude.
Right.
One of the most fucked up, we still have zoos. You go to a zoo, they clip a bird's wings. You're a bird, they don't let you fly. They got orcas in tanks, and orca is like one of the best, it runs the ocean. That's like making Mike Tyson host The View. And then if you're in there, you're not even safe. They shot Harambe. Do you think they would have shot Harambe if he was like, don't shoot me, I'm not a gorilla. I'm a Chinese guy.
Oh my God.
It kind of bangs.
Okay.
It kind of bangs.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Che Durena, everybody.
Hey, thank you guys. Yeah, you can see why that got cut from the repertoire.
Oh, bro, I had one how a homeless guy goes into a hospital.
Yeah.
And he has these weird bumps around his colostomy hole, right?
Yeah.
And they do a test, and it comes back, and it's herpes.
Yeah.
And it turns out that this homeless man is letting other homeless men fuck his colostomy hole for food money.
Oh, damn,
right?
dude. Yeah.
And I'm like, when people say it's terrible, I'm like, look, I'm a silver lining kind of guy.
Yeah.
I think it's inspirational.
Yeah.
You know? If you get lemons, make lemonade.
Yeah.
You know? So next time you're fucked up, think of this nigga getting fucked in his chest to get some tacos.
Yeah.
And that's how I would get offset. And the 2 clubs were like, please never do that fucking joke again. Never. And even though it banged, they were like, don't fucking do that shit. It's disgusting.
It is disgusting, yeah.
I want to ask you so many questions because you seem like you're dating, you're doing it, you're in New York, you're like fucking successful.
Yeah.
I got into shit with my girl, and then I talked about it on the bench.
Yeah.
Pick me girls.
Yeah.
This fucking saying, like, women are calling this as a bad thing.
Yeah.
Talk to me as your older brother, future counterpart, whatever.
Yeah.
Why is a pick me girl bad? Because I would want a girl who wants to get fucking picked.
Yeah, okay, fair. But think of it of the what a pick me girl is, if we're gonna change it to a guy thing, it's almost like a white knight. That is the parallel.
Okay.
It's so the pick me girl isn't necessarily like into the shit you want, or it's like she's shifting her personality for male approval. And that is irritating to someone on your side. So if you're a chick and a girl's like, oh my God, I love UFC. I'm like, I just don't relate to girls. Like, I just like, all I want to do is like drink beer and like watch UFC and play video games. Yeah. And she's doing this stuff not because, I mean, maybe these are her general views.
Right.
But the way she's presenting it is for male approval.
Right.
Where a dude who like paints his fingernails and is like, you know, like people don't understand the plight of women. And we're like, I understand, like, dude, I see your game. You are doing this, and that's always been around. There's the way my buddy puts it, fucking Cameron Phoenix, who I stream with, he's like, it's the modern version of like a dude who has a frilly shirt and a lute and is outside the window like, my heart weeps for you.
That's fucking hilarious.
There's always been the soft guy trying to get that, and the girl version is like...
The male feminist, he's like, come on.
But for pussy. For pussy, dude.
But see, I know I look at that guy and I go, disgusting. I like to paint my nails, so I don't give a fuck. The other stuff, male feminist, gross.
Yeah.
But I hate to say it, this is where I'm an asshole. I have no problem with a woman lying and saying she wants everything that I like to make me fucking happy. I'm into that shit.
Because you're getting two different, you're seeing this dude and you're like, that's like a pathetic way to get pussy.
Right.
But in another
she's
scenario.
Gonna get married.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get pussy.
She's this woman, you're saying, nigga, I'm gonna do whatever you want.
Yeah. But it's both the same thing. You're kind of selling out your gender in order to appease the other gender.
Out, nigga. That's what we're here to do.
I'm just telling you that's why.
I love it. No, thank you, because it's like one of those things, and it really is a sellout. Yeah. But I'm at this age, sell out, yo.
Yeah.
Fuck what the fuck? What do you?
Sell out, dude.
Fuck dignity.
Yeah.
You know, just get the results. Anything about the Tyson fight?
We can talk about the Tyson fight.
All right.
I mean, my thing on the Tyson fight going in, I was like, it's going to be like all the other fights.
Right.
They're all what the Paul brothers do well. The product they actually sell isn't boxing. It's not Prime Energy. It's not Lunchleys. It's not even YouTube videos. It's hype. That's what they sell. They sell hype, and people get hyped up, and then they consume the product and they go, it sucked, and then that's been the whole thing, their whole career.
Yeah.
They sell hype, and they're very good at it.
Yeah.
And I watched a little bit of the first round, and I went, fuck, I know what this is.
So
It's
sad.
gonna be, it's gonna be like in what other sport, especially a contact sport? We're not talking like bocce ball or
Right.
curling,
Yeah.
where as a 60-year-old, 58-year-old man come out who's been inactive for a long time.
Right.
Like Stipe Miocic just fought for the UFC heavyweight title. He's 41 and he's been inactive for a long time and looked a little sluggish.
Yeah.
We're talking like almost a 20-year gap between these guys.
Oh, that's ancient. That's fucking elderly.
Yeah.
That's elder abuse.
And everyone says, oh, Jake Paul can't box. Jake Paul has been training with the highest level boxing coaches in the highest level facilities because he has access to these things for years. And he's also at his physical peak. It's like the guy's gonna be able to fucking do some shit.
Bro, he couldn't. Listen, I think it's a little bit of a sham what we just saw.
Yeah.
I will say this: the night I kind of like him a little bit. I like Jake Paul a little bit more, because he could have just killed that man.
Yeah.
And he was just like, come on, he carried him. Get your 20 million, old man.
I think there was a little bit of an agreement, a little bit of a like, hey,
don't knock me out.
We're putting on a show.
Right.
And I think one of my buddies, the way he put it was, we have a friend who's kind of a snake.
Yeah.
And he's like, I like though that I know he's a snake.
Right.
Because I expect a snake to be a snake.
Exactly.
The Paul brothers, I expect them to sell hype and nothing else.
Yep.
And so if you go in being like, oh man, this restaurant was hyped up and I ate there and it tastes like dog shit. It's like, yeah, because I know it's hype. I know that the product isn't going to be good.
Yep.
And so I accept it for what it is.
Yeah, the chick fight before that, beautiful.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
This fucking girl, her eyes split. The shit looked like fucking roast beef.
Yeah,
it was another vag on her eye.
Shit.
I want more time with you, but we have to stop.
We gotta wrap it up.
And we gotta wrap it up. Everybody, Che Durena, where do we find you next?
Maybe Louisville, Kentucky. For sure, Toronto. We're filming the special in Toronto. And then Che Durena on all platforms, CHEDURENA, CheDurena.com for ticket and tour dates. Dark Holes with Che Durena, my podcast, where we explore and examine weird internet holes I fell into.
Love it.
Yeah.
You're the best.
Thank you, buddy.
You're the
Appreciate
best.
it.
We gotta do it more.
Yeah. I'm definitely down to do it again.
Yeah, for sure.